he visited you, when you confronted him with an issue, he indicated that they even say things against him, but he cannot do anything about that. On the contrary, President Macky Sall is saying he will not accept those things that people do during the time of Ablaye Wade. Anybody who makes derogatory statements against him, you'll have to pay for the price. So it clearly shows that your colleagues are following your footsteps. And indeed, that is the fair thing to do. You cannot look at somebody and make statements against the individual. Say things that are unfounded. Say things that are untrue. Whereas that individual you are making those statements against cannot take his course of action against you. You are living in the US or elsewhere making statements. I mean, how do we deal with those things? But I can assure you, Your Excellency, at that very meeting, and even the meeting that was proposed as a dialogue, we are all thinking along the same lines that you have indicated here today. And I don't think, and I do not know of anybody who at that particular meeting was on a reconciliatory mood, or trying to agree, or trying to appease or please them in any way. We took a tough stand, and it was clear from all of us or our actions that we maintain those tough stands. Thank you, Your Excellency.
What I said is that whatever is in the interest of the Gambian people is what we are going to do. This issue has nothing to do with Gambians, but it will have something negative to do with the Gambians if we accept it. Because the neocon philosophy, the what they call neoconservatives, these are the people that believe that there was no creation but evolution, and evolution ended up when they came to Earth as the supreme beings, and evolution stopped. So for them, no African country, black African country, should develop or have wealth. So neocolonialism, colonizing Gambia again is not going to be, it's not going to happen by the grace of the Almighty Allah. So at no point did I say, some of you during the meeting, I didn't say that. What I said is what some of you do when you go and meet them elsewhere. And I have facts. And discussion on this is even unacceptable. So what you should do, those who don't meet them, is to make it very clear that this matter is not on agenda. It's not up for discussion. Period. And I also made it very clear. If you don't agree to what I'm saying, let me have your resignation letter either now or before we close, or first thing tomorrow morning before we have Thursday's cabinet. Because if you are in this government and want to work with them on bringing in instruments of instability into our statutes, you are asking for to pay a very high price. I'm making it very clear.
Thank you, sir. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and the Merciful, I bear witness that there is one God. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya Abdul Aziz James Junkung Jammeh, High Excellency, the Vice President, Cabinet Ministers, and fellow Gambians. Your Excellency, I speak in defense of the July 22nd revolution. Your Excellency, the July 22nd revolution that took place in 1994 was not only for the advancement and development of this Gambian nation, but it was also a battle of ideas, a struggle of ideas between ideas of neocolonialism, ideas of imperialism versus ideas of liberation and freedom and dignity for the Gambian people and the African continent. And what His Excellency the President has demonstrated today is the need not only for the advancement of this nation or the African continent, but also for the need for us to liberate ourselves and our minds from mental slavery. What we are confronted with today is not options or dictations. This is an other idea of imperialistic or neo-colonialist mentality of imposing and dictating on the African people what should transpire either in the Gambia or in the African continent. We are proud of you, Your Excellency. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency the Vice President, Cabinet colleagues, Secretary General, Secretary to Cabinet. I think my intervention is going to strengthen why we should support what has been concluded here. Because dialogue, as the President said, and I've attended one of these dialogues in the past when I was ambassador in Spain, it was supposed to be a discussion where we raise our concerns and they raise their concerns, and each party provides explanation as you see it, and not a list where you are told that these things have to be done. And the first fundamental violation is the giving of deadlines, because the subject matters here being discussed have different ramifications, even if we agree to address them. So you cannot say this has to be done within 1 month, this has to be done within 2 months. You can come and say, these are my concerns. We also tell you, these are our concerns. And then we exchange ideas and explanations, and that's the end of it. So we move forward. But to come and give a list and say, do this in 1 month, do this in 3 months, is a contravention of the spirit of Article 8. Thank you.
President, Republic of the Gambia, Chief Professor Alaji Dr. Eje Jammeh, Excellency the Vice President, Cabinet colleagues, the Secretary General, Secretary to Cabinet, protocol, press, security, all other protocols respectfully observed. Your Excellency, sir, first of all, I'd like to take the opportunity to wish you and your family a happy and a prosperous New Year. I make reference to the festive season we're in because, like the guiding star that led the 3 wise men to the cradle of Jesus Christ, we look at you also as a guiding star that is leading us in the right direction. We believe in you and believe in the direction which you're taking this country. And as a team, we will continue to support you in that direction. Taking your analogy of the $500 is for my outfit to be put in acid, my first instinct is that whoever approaches me with that attitude has not only insulted my intelligence but my integrity. And even if it's not $500, if it's $5 million, I am not for sale. It is the principle of the matter that if you approach me and you make me that kind of deal, there is a hidden agenda and it is not acceptable. And it's based on the principle. I'd rather eat grass and be contented than to be manipulated. Yes, they have come and they've taken our wealth. But there's even though, like, sir, I'm not qualified in the religion, but I pick out a few verses from scripture, and it says, one of them says that it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a wealthy man to enter the kingdom of heaven. It also says, and in support of your strong faith in God, that we should seek God first and everything else will be added unto us. My uncle a year ago was shot in the head, execution style, in Malmö in Sweden. As we speak today, none of the authorities are making an effort to find out who the perpetrator of that crime is. Youngest? Black. And they made flimsy excuses. In the end, my sister, who's a lawyer, had to fly over to at her own expense to challenge them. And in the end, he put the phone down on my sister. And they said the case is closed. I say, as a government and as cabinet colleagues, we took an oath almost a year ago, an oath of allegiance all the other oaths.